I was tagged by Talia of Talia Nerds Out to do the BookTube Rapid Fire tag. So I decided to participate. The questions are: 1, ebook or physical book? Physical book. 2, paperback or hardback? Hardback. I prefer a hardback, but now that I'm older, the arthritis in my thumb, it's hard to hold a hardback, especially a chunker. So I'm going to have to go to paperbacks, but I prefer hardback. Online or in-store shopping? In-store shopping, definitely. But the older I get, I'll probably do more online shopping, but I prefer to go in the store. Heroes or villains? Heroes, I guess, but villains are good to read about too. I have several books about villains that I want to read. Attila, Mayo, just different ones. And so, but I prefer to read about heroes. A book you want everyone to read. Granny Dan. It's one of my favorite books. It's by Danielle Steele. And I don't usually read Danielle Steele books, but this book was so good. Recommend an underrated book. I really don't have one that I can think of. To me, all books are great. So, I don't know. I guess there's not a lot of history readers, especially on BookTube. So I would rather people read more history books and have more history book channels. But the last book you finished, Marie Therese, the daughter of Marie Antoinette, and it was so good. Any book that makes me cry is a 5-star. And this poor girl had so many tragedies and heartbreak and heartache and all the things that she lived through, and she still cared about France and the French people. It was a good book. The last book you bought, it was a used book haul. So, I don't know, there were different books in it. I bought a book on Colin Powell and just different books in the book haul. Weirdest thing you've used as a bookmark? I don't know. I've used blades of grass, receipts. I don't know if you'd call any of them weird, but whatever's at hand. If I don't have a bookmark, I'll use whatever. Used books, yes or no? Yes, I'd much rather have a used book, because buying a new book, they're just so outrageous in price. And you can get so many more for the same price buying a used book. Top 3 favorite genres. Biography and memoirs are my go-to reads. History books, and then historical fiction. Borrow or buy? Buy. I live way too far from the library, and so I hardly ever go there, but so I usually buy. Character or plots? Character. To me, that's just what I look for. Long or short books? Long. I like chunkers. Long or short chapters? Short. If it's a long chapter, I'm constantly looking to see how many more pages are in the chapter. The book I'm reading now, Custer and Crazy Horse, some of the chapters are long, and it just makes for a faster read for me if the chapters are short. Name the first 3 books you think of. Granny Dan, these are my 3 of my favorite books. Saving Baby, about a lady that rescued a racehorse, and it made me cry, a bad cry. And my favorite childhood book is The Velveteen Rabbit. So those are my 3 favorite books. 3 of my favorite. Books that make you laugh or cry. Cry, definitely. I don't read books that really make you laugh, so cry. Our world or fictional world? I prefer fictional world. Our world today is so violent and egotistical, and people just don't care. Animals are abused and abandoned. Children are abused. Gangs, crime, murders, all the political turmoil. I just prefer fictional world. Audiobooks, yes or no? No, I don't usually read. If I'm reading an audiobook, I can't stay focused. I'd much rather have a physical book. Do you ever judge a book by its cover? Yes. If I'm at a bookstore and I look at the cover and I don't like it, it goes back on the shelf. Books to movie or books to TV adaptations. TV adaptations. I don't really watch movies anymore unless it's on YouTube. Sometimes if I really like a movie, I'll buy a physical copy. I just don't get out and go to the theaters anymore. So, book to TV. A movie or TV adaptation that you preferred more than the book. Bernard Cornwell's The Last Kingdom was absolutely fantastic. I stumbled across it accidentally back when I had cable, and it was so good that I bought all the books and read it. It's like 13 or 14 books in the series, and it was phenomenal. There was a lot of violence, but is about the Vikings and, you know, all the fighting, and it was about Alfred the Great, and I didn't know that much about Alfred the Great, and after watching this, I wanted to read about him. He was a unique, great guy. Series or standalone? Standalone, because series, I never read series. I think Bernard Cornwell was probably the only, back when I used to read crime, fiction, and true crime, I read some book series, but I don't really read book series now, mostly standalones. So that's the tag, guys. Thanks, Talia, for tagging me, and thanks for listening. Bye.